Welcome back, everyone. Today I thought I wanted to go over the person I think is the most dangerous of the new Challenger series characters, and that would be Nicholas D. Wolfwood. As I said, I've not seen the show or the original show, much to my wife and several of my locals' dismay. But it is on the list, and I will be checking it out shortly. But apparently I was right that this man is a priest or something, which would explain the giant cross. So, just getting into it, he is a 6-hand size 28 health character with the symbols All, Death, and Fire. He has an Enhance, which is Mill 1, so you discard the top card of your deck to activate this. Your ranged or weapon attack gets plus 3 damage. Free 3 damage. That's nuts on any ranged or weapon card. And then a response, discard 1 momentum. After your combat phase begins, draw 2 cards and gain 2 health. So you are effectively a pseudo 8-hander as long as you have momentum. And as long as your attacks hit, which with the way I built it, they're gonna, you're definitely going to be getting that momentum. Sorry, I've got a animal over here. So I built this deck off of the fire symbol. I was banking between fire and death. I was really unsure which one I wanted to focus on first, mainly because of Twisting Azure Inferno. This card is dumb, as most players will tell you, but it is even more so in Wolfwood. It is a 4 difficulty, 3 control, 4 mid for 4, with charge and ranged. Every card in this deck has the ranged keyword. It says Enhance. If this attack's damage is 7 or greater, for the rest of the turn, your checks get +1, and your rival's checks to play blocks get -1. Well, it's a 4 mid 4, and guess who can just give it 3 damage just because he wants to? Kind of turns this card on automatically and makes your opponent's life a living Hades. Then it has a response. After you play an action card, this attack is +2 damage. So you can make it even stronger by playing any of the myriad of actions we have below that we'll get to when we get to. Next up we have Provisional Pursuit, a 4 difficulty, 3 high for 5, with the combo keyword, combo ranged. It says Combo Enhance, draw 1 card, seal 1 rival foundation. This is just a good way to get your turns flowing, especially if you combo off of a Twisting Azure Inferno to maybe draw some more attacks, and seal a key defensive piece on your opponent's board during your turn. Next up we have Flash Fire Fist Hell Spider, a 4 difficulty, 3 high for 6, with the Fury and range keywords. It says Enhance, Mill 2, your attacks this turn get +1 speed. If you have cycled this game, your attacks this turn also get +1 damage. We are milling our deck on our own, through our own abilities. We also have the mill from the Flash Fire Fist, and obviously we're going to be playing checks and stuff like that. So the main use for this card is getting the speed. You will see that there's not a lot of speed on these cards themselves, so actually making sure that your attacks connect, this can really go a long way to help you with that. Next up we have Ignited Arrow, another Endeavor card, but from Endeavor 2 this time. A 4 difficulty, 2 high for 4, with Fury, ranged, and weapon. It says Enhance, if this attack is blocked, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an attack. Add the discarded attack to your hand. So you mill 1, make this a 7 damage attack, and tell your opponent either you give me another attack or you're taking 7. Kind of easy for them to want to block this, but then again it gets a block out of their hand, and if you're making it hard for them to block using Twisting Azure Inferno or Flash Fire Fist giving you speed, you can really turn some of these slower attacks into more reputable damage dealers. And finally we have Burn Combo, a 4 difficulty, 2 low for 4, that says Enhance, your rival checks against a 6. If they fail, this attack and your next attack get 2 speed. So again, putting that speed on your attacks, trying to push them through, make sure that they are really hard to block, and make sure that you can make this extra 3 damage that you're getting count every time. Every attack you might notice is a 4 diff. I tried to make this a streamlined, very cheap attack string deck, and a lot of your attacks are 4 damage, except for like the Hell Spider and the Provisional Pursuit. But you do have built-in damage with your face. You just get 3 damage for free on every attack. So all of these 4s are actually 7s. This Provisional Pursuit is an 8. This Flash Fire Fist, a 9. So you are making your attacks, every one of them, a must-block, especially if your opponent has a lower hand size. Moving on to the non-attack cards, we are going into the actions. Because we're playing Twisting Azure, we do want to play a decent number of actions. And I think Avoiding Conflict is the perfect action for this kind of deck. It says it's a 1 difficulty plus 5 control. It says Response, remove. After this card enters your discard pile during the enhanced step, this attack gets +2 damage or -2 speed. So if you mill it with Wolfwood or with Flash Fire Fist, you can give bonus damage to your attacks. And then it says Enhance, place this card on the bottom of your deck, draw 1 card. So if you play it during Twisting Azure Inferno, you get to draw a card and get +2 damage on your 4 mid 4, which would then be a 4 mid, your 4 mid 7 with Wolfwood. So it turns this into a 4 mid 9 for using your face and drawing a card. That seems like a pretty good deal to me. Defensively, we have Barrier Shield as a 2 difficulty, 5 control action. With Enhance, remove, reduce this attack speed to 0. The next card you play this turn gets Breaker 2. Really great on defense. It's probably the best speed hate piece in the game right now, especially on these symbols. And giving your attack Breaker, or your next card, that you block with Breaker 2 is just really, really powerful. And then it even has Enhance. Your rival cannot add cards to their hand during this attack due to their non-character effects. And it has a static that says it doesn't count towards progressive difficulty. So if your opponent's got a lot of draw on board, and you have Twisting Azure Inferno, you can actually play this. It won't count towards progressive. They can't draw during this attack, and you get Twisting Azure's +2 damage on that as well. Then we have Cremation. Like I said, this deck is not exactly very speedy, as you've seen. We're more focused on the damage. So with Cremation, a 1 difficulty, 5 control action. Enhance, lose 1 health. This attack gets +3 speed. And then if your character's Dobby, your rival loses a health. We're not Dobby, but +3 speed on our attack. And then Wolfwood, +3 damage on our attack. Giving any of these attacks 3/3 turns them into an instant threat. Provisional Pursuit becoming a 6/8. Twisting Azure becoming a 7/7, or I guess with the Cremation, a 7 mid 9. That then gives all your opponent's checks to block -1. Very, very solid. And it even has a really good response for us. Response, lose 2 health. After your rival plays their 3rd non-attack card this combat phase, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So if you're going second and your opponent builds 4, you can just play this, lose 2 health, get a momentum, and then discard that momentum, draw 2 cards, gain 2 health, you start the game as an 8-hander. That's pretty solid. That is pretty dangerous to do. So he is the kind of character that really works on either of Cremation's abilities instead of just worrying about the speed. And lastly, we've got Sugar Rush Power Up. We are milling our deck with Wolfwood, so we will have a bigger discard pile than normal. And Sugar Rush Power Up says Enhance, remove 10 cards from your discard pile. If this attack gets +2 speed and +4 damage. So turning Burn Combo into a 4/8, turning Twisting Azure into a 6/8, which then is a 6/10, on top of your 3 damage from Wolfwood. So this is a very good way to just blow your opponent out after you've increased your speed or reduced their checks to block, and your opponent can't do anything else. Sugar Rush Power Up is the great way to just add that last bit of damage and speed to your kill condition. And then it also says Enhance your attack, remove Flip 1 Rifle Foundation with an ability that would reduce the damage of an attack. So if you're really worried about that defense, or maybe it's early and you don't have a lot in the way of removing cards from your discard pile, and you have a Twisting Azure that you want to get online, you could Sugar Rush just to flip an opponent's foundation and get that extra 2 damage on Twisting Azure. But like I said, with Wolfwood, your Twisting Azures are always online, unless your opponent damage reduces between you giving it 3 damage and you activating that effect. Which is a good way to shut down Twisting Azure, but with all of the stuff we have here, that's actually not too damaging for us. Onto foundations, we have Quick to Act, a 0 difficulty, 5 control. It says enhance if your health is less than half of your maximum health. This attack gets 1 speed. More speed boost. We aren't really afraid of taking a lot of damage because we can gain 2 health every turn as long as we have momentum. But on the off chance that we are getting punched in the face repeatedly, Quick to Act can give us extra speed. And if we build a couple of Quick to Acts, your opponent's really going to think twice about how low they get you, and they'll really want to try to blow you out maybe from full. Especially if they don't want you drawing cards and using your momentum to draw 2 cards at the end of start of every turn. Then we've got Ignite, a 0 difficulty, 5 control. Enhance, destroy. Your next check to play a card gets +1. Only playable if you have 10 or more removed cards, playable while committed. So this is a pretty cool Tenacious Foundation. Destroys for +1 to your next check. And with Sugar Rush power-up and the fact that we are milling ourselves, we will likely cycle. It's not unheard of, unless you play like the deck did for me earlier, which I'll go into a little bit more detail about that in a minute. So it's just a pretty good spam, and it could give us +1 playable while committed to our check if need be. Then we've got I'll Protect You, a 1 difficulty, 5 control. Commit, flip, this attack gets -3 speed. Again, just some really good solid speed hate, and a pretty decent spam foundation. Next, Fast as Flames, a 1 difficulty, 5 control. First enhance, flip, so this has got to be the first enhance that you play during the enhance step. Your fire attack gets 2 speed. I said it before, speed is kind of the main issue with the deck. A lot of these attacks are really slow, so just being able to flip for +2 speed to try to push our attacks through is really helpful. And then we've got Forcing Surrender, a 1 difficulty, 5 control. Response, flip after you play a combo ability, your rival discards 1 momentum, which we do have a combo, but that's not really the main reason you play Forcing Surrender. It's mainly for the enhance, flip, discard 1 non-attack from either player's card pool. So if you've got something like a Cremation stuck in your card pool, because it does not remove for either of its abilities, or if your opponent has done something to stuff your card pool with like a face-down card or a foundation from your discard pile, this is a good way to clear that from your card pool to make sure that your string can last out, especially if your opponent does something to try to mess with your Provisional Pursuit combo. Of course, we need 4 Ice Gliding. Enhance, commit, this attack is +1 or -2 speed, and if it's blocked, the next attack is +1 or -1 speed. This is good on offense, this is good on defense. It either pushes our kills through or helps us survive a little bit longer. Then we've got Seasoned Brawler. Response, flip after your rival blocks with an attack, draw 1 card, playable while committed. This is just a really good ability to help us draw cards, because if we're messing with their block modifiers, they're going to want to play their lower block modifiers, which are usually on attacks. So if they don't want to die, they're going to have to let us draw more cards to maybe kill them with. And it's playable while committed, so you don't have to worry about committing this to pass checks to keep up your strings. Next up, into our 2 diffs, we have Pyromania, a 2 difficulty, 5 control. It is a form, once per turn, remove 1 momentum. Your fire attacks get +1 speed for the rest of this turn. Pretty solid. Pretty good. You really want to get that speed through if you're not worried about your health or drawing extra cards for some reason, and you just know, I drew a whole hand of orange, I'm going in, we're going to use this momentum for speed. And then Enhance, remove, this attack gets -3 damage. Only playable if you have more removed cards than your rival. So with Sugar Rush power-up, with Pyromania itself, with our likelihood of cycling, we might have more removed cards than our rival. So Barrier Shield removes for one of its enhances, so this is just a little bit of extra damage reduction to make sure that we can stay alive. Then we've got the new number 1, 3 difficulty, 5 control. This card cannot be sealed. It says Enhance, commit, return this attack to its printed speed, then this attack gets +1 or -1 speed. Again, we're trying to push our attacks through with our speed, so if your opponent's got a lot of speed reduction, you can return it to printed, give it that little extra boost. Or if your opponent's got some massive speed boost, like say a Recipro Burst, you can return it to printed and then reduce it by 1, make it much more easier to block. It has a Pro Hero Enhance. We cannot use that Pro Hero Enhance because we are not a hero. We are a priest with a very big gun. Then we've got Kirishima's Assistance. One thing that can really hurt this kind of string theory deck is Breaker. So with this 1 difficulty foundation, response flip, after your rival partially blocks your attack, steal their block. If they partially block you and would try to breaker you, you turn off the breaker, you say no thank you, you continue to punch them in the face or shoot them with your giant cross. And then we've got Firestarter. 1 difficulty, enhance, flip, if you have 10 or more removed cards, draw 1 card. So if we've Sugar Rush power-upped or we cycled, we just flip this to draw cards. And then Deadlock Enhance, your fire attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage for free. So having multiple of these on the field, when your opponent's in deadlock, you just get more free stats. This is a pretty tight 62 card deck, I want to say. It's 61 card deck. And I did build this one, and I was going to do some test hands before I got my new camera, which, sorry if the audio is a little weird, I'm still tweaking some things. I built this deck, went to Solitaire for it, and it's on the list! Sorry. The missus is trying to get me to watch Trigun now, while I'm busy, but I promise we will watch it. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, so I built this deck and decided to Solitaire, and turn 1, going first, I built 5. Primo. You really want to do stuff like that. You see a lot of spam, really great. Turn 2, I threw 39 damage. I had 3 Twisting Azure Infernos, an Ignited Arrow, a Flash Fire Fist Hell Spider, and I threatened 39 damage on turn 2. Turn 2, with 3 Twisting Azures, that's -3 to your check to block, and I think I only had to commit 1 foundation during the entire turn. This man is scary. This man is terrifying. This man can do untold amounts of damage if need be, and this is just a basic little 4 difficulty attack string fire deck. So, perfect for learning the character, and it can still output that level of damage. And it is just absolutely terrifying. You don't even need to worry about his response if you're killing them on turn 2. It's just ridiculous. That's why I think Nicholas Wolfwood is the most dangerous character of the Challenger Series characters. But that's just my opinion. What's your guys' opinion? What do you guys think of the cross-wielding priest gunner guy? Do you think he's as dangerous as I do? Are any warning bells going off in your head? Or do you think that there's another Challenger Series character that can actually rival him in terms of ferocity? Please let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts on the deck or any thoughts on Trigun, be it the original or the remake. And if you like deck content like this, I'd love it if you would subscribe. I try to get 2 videos a week. With the preview season for Yu Yu Hakusho starting, I'm going to be putting out a little bit more content, doing preview reviews. I think I'll wait until I can do 4 characters for video on that, just because there are so many coming out so fast. But yeah, like the video, subscribe if you love deck building content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.